Welcome back, folks. It's Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Born on this date in 1781, the first governor of Alabama, William Wyatt Bibb. And in 1988, rock singer and guitarist Brittany Howard of Athens. You know her as the lead singer of Alabama Shakes. Well, we had some new laws go into effect as October began, so we're going to go over several of those and a little more. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
Recently, we asked some people about sharing their New York Times accounts.
My name is Dana. I am a subscriber to the New York Times, but my husband isn't. And it would be really nice to be able to share a recipe or an article or compete with him in Wordle or Connections. Thank you.
Dana, we heard you. Introducing the New York Times Family Subscription. One subscription, up to 4 separate logins for anyone in your life. Find out more at nytimes.com/family.
A spate of new Alabama laws took effect at the beginning of October, reports AL.com's Mike Kaysen. Among those are the measure that requires pharmacy benefit managers to reimburse pharmacies at the same rate as Medicaid. Pharmacists have been arguing that they receive so little in reimbursements that it doesn't cover the cost of some drugs. Also, Lulu's Law establishes a system for alerting the public in the event of a shark attack. Another law increases the crime for shooting into an occupied dwelling, building, or vehicle from a Class B felony to a Class A felony, meaning it'll get you 10 to 99 years. So as of yesterday, don't do that. A new law says pregnant women are to be presumed eligible for Medicaid if a qualified provider makes a preliminary determination that their household income is low enough. Now, that clears the way for pregnant women to avoid waiting for a Medicaid application to go through before they can be covered for prenatal care. Also, nursing mothers can be exempt from jury duty for up to 2 years. And the state also has now legally defined sex based on the reproductive organs people are born with and not necessarily how they identify themselves. I had buddies in college who thought alcohol was part of the educational experience. That was not the best approach, it turned out. But now the Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board will award educational tourism licenses to distilleries. It's another law that went into effect October 1st that allows that. So cooking liquor is now seen as an educational opportunity. Old Popcorn Sutton had that professor look about him, you know. Well, what this license does is allow the distilleries to give guided tours with an educational component. Those tours can include samples up to 1.5 ounces. Y'all learn responsibly. One more new law update. The measure that makes it a crime to knowingly bring someone who's in the country illegally into Alabama. This crime is human smuggling, and it can get somebody 1 to 10 years in prison. Before final passage, state lawmakers added exceptions for transporting healthcare patients, traveling for non-commercial religious or charitable purposes, and traveling for governmental purposes such as court hearings. Well, a Baldwin County construction worker who is a U.S. citizen has filed a federal lawsuit claiming he's been arrested by immigration officials twice on work sites this year, reports AL.com's Sarah White's Coda-Check. Leonardo Garcia Venegas said in the lawsuit that he was just doing his job and showed the arresting agents his real ID. Neither time did the ID satisfy the officers, according to the suit. The lawsuit says Venegas was born in Lehigh Acres, Florida, and has lived in Robertsdale since he was 14. Now, something you hear me say every time we have a lawsuit story, a lawsuit represents only one party's version of the events. A son of Dog the Bounty Hunter has been fired from the Priceville Police Department after a police chase ended in the death of teenager Tristan Hollis, reports AL.com's Chaotic Ground. Priceville police were in pursuit of a motorist suspected of driving under the influence on September 6th. The pursuit took them all into Hartselle, where the suspect's vehicle crashed into a vehicle carrying teenagers, including the victim. The next day, the city of Priceville placed Gary Chapman, a son of TV bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, on leave. Attorney Scott Morrow said the city was scapegoating Chapman after the tragic end of the chase. Quote, "He was within policy and he was within the law as it relates to police pursuits, so I think that because of politics and media, that the leaders of the city, meaning the police chief, the mayor, and the city attorney, feels like they need to distance themselves from Gary Chapman, and so they have terminated him," end quote. Hey, leave us your Alabama hot takes, 205-304-1814 on anything. And if you could, leave us a rating on whatever podcast app you use. We really appreciate that. It does a lot for us. We're going to be back here in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see what we're doing anytime you can on the internet at al.com.